Welcome to my podcast, Why Get Wasted? Innovative Solutions to Climate Change. I'm so excited you found us. In this podcast, I'll be talking with really interesting people who've come up with innovative solutions for tackling climate change. There's so much fear and discouragement now, and I know we can all feel helpless to do anything about what we see and know is happening with our planet. But people are creative and resilient, and they can be really smart, and often in times of crisis, really step up to the plate. So I wanted to draw attention and talk further to some people who've come up with their own way to help all of us fight for our planet. And now a little bit about me. My name is Liz Entin, and I'm the founder of Why Get Wasted. We offer customized plans for businesses and events, both personal and professional, to help them be more climate friendly and sustainable. We've worked with everything from festivals and concerts to fashion shows, and even your kid's birthday party or your own dinner party. While doing this, I've just met some really inspiring people. And now I want to share their stories, the companies they've created, and the solutions they've come up with all of you. We can all work together to fix this. And now I hope you enjoy this episode of Why Get Wasted? Innovative Solutions to Climate Change. Today I'm talking with Gabby from Nest Earth, and she can introduce herself and tell you all about what she's working on.
Hi, so great being here. And well, my name is Gabriela, and I'm the founder of Nest Earth. And well, that's just a company dedicated to making sustainable living easier and enjoyable for parents through education, community, and experience.
So, what inspired you to start Nest Earth?
Uh, well, it's a little bit funny. It actually, the inspiration came from being by the time I became a mom. So when I became a mother, it was very overwhelming. A lot of things are going on. There are a lot of new things. And just one day I was there nursing my child like at 2 a.m. and I was realizing how I was struggling with being a parent and being environmentally conscious and all the demands and needs that come with taking care of a child. And I felt like I was losing myself in the mother I was supposed to be, not the one I wanted to be, and struggling to find information, support, or even a community. And so after speaking to a few parents, that seeing that they all felt the same, I I was like, I'm just gonna build this community for us because it doesn't currently exist and we need it. We need that kind of support. So I guess the inspiration came from just a late night feeding and realizing everything, the struggles of being a mom, but also trying to keep on those environmental values and safeguarding their future.
How old are your kids? I don't know how many you have actually.
Uh,
How old are they now?
so I have a 1-year-old right now and a 3-year-old. Yeah, they're adorable.
Aw, that sounds really cute and a lot of fun. So, what are some of the challenges you faced being a parent related to living an eco lifestyle? Actually, I should ask you first, were you living a pretty eco lifestyle before having children?
Yes. So we were being very environmentally conscious, to whatever point and degree, but it was a lot easier before being a parent. After becoming a parent, it's like a common thing. It just goes out the window just because we're bombarded with you need to have this, the best of this, and you're more concerned about safety. And when you don't know anything, you don't know anything, especially as a new mom. And So we were being very environmentally conscious beforehand. It just became very difficult to continue because we were learning how to be parents and in a new way, in terms of like we weren't really fully aware of like, okay, what cloth diapers to use and what actually works. And we were, whatever our families grew up, that's how we were taught to take care of a child. So that's what we saw and that's what we did. But being in there and actually being a parent, the biggest, like a lot of the biggest challenges is once you're in it, you're trying to figure it out how to be more environmentally friendly. It just became a time constraint. Like we're so limited in time. We can't really, we can look for information, but we don't have a lot of time. And there's a lot of information overload. Finding eco-friendly products that actually work and are affordable is another thing. And just the constant struggle of being convenient versus being environmentally friendly. Like you are constantly dealing with a crying baby, and then you're like, okay, but I need to put this cloth diaper in the dryer, in the washer. You don't have time. It's like, okay, I just need a diaper right now, and then you just grab whichever you have, which is would be a disposable diapers, which we did have, and it just you have this constant struggle. I mean, like, okay, I need convenience, but you also have to be, you know, cater to whatever it's an immediate need, which is normally your child has hunger, all these things. So if you don't have all these systems in place for parenting, it's just a different journey than when you're doing it individually. Let's put it that way.
Sounds like 'cause you're having to think of someone else, all their needs, as well as keeping them eco. That must be a lot. So yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah. How does Nest Earth support parents? In what ways specifically?
So we support parents in by giving them the education, the community, and through experiences. And so what we do is we have a whole roadmap to get you from being, from not knowing where to start or what to do, like how I started, all the way to be creating all those systems where you start your day to day is you're just, you know, that you're being more environmentally friendly and we don't add to your overwhelm. So we provide the community, which is the crucial part, our learning events. We have expert-led workshops and practical tools. Everything is designed to make your life easier and not add to your overwhelm.
And so this community, the classes are, is it all virtual? Are there in-person options?
So it is all virtual. Well, not, let me rephrase that. It's not virtual completely. We're going to have local meetups, we're going to have local community events, and everything is just going to start flourishing. So as I mentioned, we are launching on July 31st.
What areas are you going to start with for in-person?
So for in person, we will be starting mainly in the Connecticut, New York area, and then hoping to then expand as we start to grow.
And, so many people get really intimidated by low waste. What are some tips that people in general, as well as parents, can use? Just doable to start, you know, implementing in their day or life or whatever.
Well, oh my God, I want to say so many things right now, but I guess if I were to pick one right now, something that I'm currently doing because of the stage of parenthood I'm at, I have a 1-year-old and 3-year-old, and the biggest thing is just food. There is such a large amount of food waste, and they become very picky eaters, so they like don't eat half their food or more. And because of that, I guess the best things we've implemented that works is that we meal plan ahead. We buy what we need and we feed them small portions of whatever it is that we're eating right onto their plate and let them finish. And so we keep adding as we go in terms of like, just little by little. That way there's reduction of waste in terms of we don't give them a full plate. We just add little by little. And that saves a lot of food because now we can have leftovers. And also like think about how to use those leftovers in other ways if creatively also using like containers that are not plastic, obviously like Ziploc bags, like I see a lot of for because of daycare and demands, but you can actually bring your own glass containers or even silicone pouches. So there are a lot of ways where you, especially around the kitchen at during this age, that you can start applying different things on your day to day, just adding it to your system is especially with us, especially is food and meal planning and buying only what we need has really impacted in terms of right now we have little little waste in terms of food, which is incredible, especially when you have toddlers.
Sounds really good. Yeah, I've heard they can be so picky. I'm like, I mean, I'm not a parent yet, but I'm storing these notes for one day, hoping to have the kids one day.
Yeah.
So I would assume this would probably only apply to your older one. And I don't know, are they a boy or girl?
So it's a little girl and then the oldest is a boy.
Okay, so the oldest. So I assume this would only apply to the oldest. Is he getting aware of eco?
Yes, actually, uh, he has been very aware because we started really early with him. By the time he was like 1 year old, he was picking up some habits, and it's just incredible because like they learn by watching. They learn by seeing what you're doing, and then they pick up your habits, even the annoying ones. So be careful. So, but for example, like he was 1 year old, and I remember this so clearly. I normally, you turn off the light when you're exiting a room. And he noticed that we do that. And then one day I was rushing or whatever, and I forgot to off a light. And he, as a 1 year old, was trying to communicate this. So he doesn't have words yet, but he's, has sounds that he makes. And he kept pointing at the light switch. And I was like, oh, it's because I forgot to turn off the light switch. And once I realized that, I was like, oh my God, like he is really picking up these habits. And it was a reminder that they're watching and learning from us. And these things, it's going to be like second nature to them as they grow up.
That's impressive at one. And now that he's a little older, I mean, how do you explain it? Because I mean, I'm an adult. I'm pretty scared about a lot of the aspects of what could be going on with the climate. And how do you explain it where he knows what's going on, or, your daughter one day as well, but it's not frightening?
So one of the things we do is we try to keep it positive. And, we go as they ask, we try to talk about it. He is 3. So the main thing right now is there are times where we're like, oh, we can't go outside because of the air quality. We've been getting like air quality alerts, or it's really hot, or all these things. So we try to explain it to him. We try to use those ways to explain, okay, we can't go outside right now, especially with the air quality alert, because the air is not safe outside at this moment. So we are very direct, because with toddlers, you can't really, they're no, they won't pick it up if you're like the birds and the bees. Like you just got to be very direct. And we tell him in a way that is positive, but also like it's not doomsday scenario. It's just the air is not safe right now and we cannot go outside. And that's it. That's the end of the conversation because that's all the information he needs in order to understand that. So as a 3-year-old, you just you explain what it is at hand. We also use books, which is a great way, like bedtime stories, and that have certain themes, but we don't go very much into it in terms of the whole conversation of in terms of climate. This will be something that later on, once they start getting older, then they'll start understanding further. But during these stages, it's more important that they start picking up habits and taking actions in terms of what we're doing, because they're little sponges. And so they're absorbing everything that's around them. And I feel like that's the best way to actually communicate what is going on is being direct to a certain point, like no doomsday scenarios, and just just explaining it through action.
And where do you live that you're having days you have to stay inside? I mean, like obviously there's a lot of places now, but where are you?
Um, yeah, so I'm right now in Connecticut. And even though it's great, I mean, most of the time, but we do get air quality alerts on our phones. I don't know if you receive those, but
I
it just
do. I'm in New
says,
York and the city. We get those too.
yeah, so they send it, and it's normally because of a heat advisory or air quality of some sort, something's happening. And yeah, so like we just follow, we want to keep them safe.
Of course, yeah. Will you go out yourself and you don't want your child to, or do you stay in during those days too?
Well, I go out myself first, and if I see like, okay, this is fine, it's okay, then we'll go out. But sometimes it gets really hot. Lately, it's been very hot and humid. And we go outside for a little bit of time, but you got to limit that because they also start heating up, and especially with a 1-year-old. You find your limit and what works for you, what doesn't.
What's the biggest challenge that you find to live an eco life?
Um, right now, well, I guess the biggest challenge for me right now as a parent is that you want to do it all. You can't really do it all, you know? So you have to like self-pace and be like, okay, I'm going to tackle this um sustainable practice now, and then keep going and adding on and creating systems. But the biggest challenge is just, yeah, is that I want to get everything done because I feel so guilty every time I'm doing something that it shouldn't, I know it's not eco-friendly.
And who are the types of people joining? Or is it parents of young kids? Or is there options for parents of older kids? What overall, who is the ideal Nest Earth member?
So right now, the people that are joining are with early childhood. So it's 0 to 5. It applies. The only reason is because that's the community I'm in, and but we're hoping that later on we're gonna be more including more parents. But there's no reason why any parent can join. I mean, this, regardless of their parenting stage, these all apply to them. But the reason I'm catering more to early childhood, 0 to 5, is because that is a challenging time on itself, and it can be highly wasteful. Um, and there's not a lot of guidance of support in terms of that. And so that's why I decided to like focus mainly on giving these parents the kind of support that they're looking for and not finding.
you had mentioned that you're looking into doing retreats as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what those will be about.
So the retreats, we're hoping to start doing those in 2025. And they are going to be mainly for, it's a family friendly retreat. So we're going to choose a selective amount of families, and it's going to be all about being eco-friendly, being present. It's going to be centered on connection, connecting you with other parents, living more presently, and you're gonna be learning through play and fun and all family friendly activities. And it's gonna be mainly relaxing and about wellness and just being present. It's kind of like a reset um, button that you click when you start the retreat. And that's what we're looking and hoping for families to like have that time where they can talk and be live with other, because that's very important. Being in person, there's just some that you can't take that away. Like being in person and connecting in person with other families is just, it's really, really, truly inspiring. You feel like you're not alone. You actually are, and having fun around it.
Well, thank you so much. Is there anything I haven't asked you that you'd like me to ask you or anything you'd like to add?
No, I think you've asked all the questions, which are amazing.
Well, thank you so much. And I'll put the links to your Instagram and to the website in the show notes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It was
All right.
great talking to you and having this opportunity and time.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Why Get Wasted? Innovative Solutions to Climate Change. There are so many interesting people doing such great things in the climate space, and I'm really excited to bring them to you. They've inspired me so much, and I hope they inspire you too. So please come visit me and learn more at whygetwasted.com.